Hey Elvis fans, so this is another video about a hidden Graceland tour, and I'm going to share some information, as you obviously can read here, about Elvis's 1969 Las Vegas microphone. And you'll see Elvis sitting there on a stool. This image was taken on the stage of the Las Vegas International Hotel, again in 1969, where he's wearing his black tunic. And you'll also see an image that I took of Elvis's den. So we commonly refer to it now as the jungle room, but during Elvis's lifetime, he always referred to it as the den, so I'm going to do that. Here's a picture, another picture I took of the den, and this was taken during a hidden Graceland tour. And if you've never been to Graceland, I hope that you find some of this information interesting, but if you have been to Graceland and have taken a tour, it's obviously an amazing experience. They do offer something called a hidden Graceland tour, which is a little more special in my opinion because it's limited to about 10 people. And you're guided on this tour by Angie Marchese, who is obviously in charge of the items within Elvis's home as far as the maintenance of them and the preservation of all these millions of pieces of artifacts. So she's pretty amazing with her knowledge. Also, Alicia was there, and she's just equally as awesome. So it was such an honor to be led through Elvis's home by these two wonderful ladies and their knowledge. The tour was late at night. It was from 10 p.m. at night until midnight. However, Alicia and Angie really stayed until about 1 p.m. They answered every single question that everybody had, just very open and friendly, and just some amazing pieces of information that were shared. And I hope to share some of these with you. So that's the point of these Hidden Graceland tour videos that I'm doing. So again, this one focuses on Elvis's microphone, and I'll get to why I'm showing pictures of his den in just a minute. But one interesting piece of information here, if you look at the ceiling, there's a yellow light on the ceiling and then a greenish light. One of the questions I had for Angie is, are these lights solely to preserve the artifacts and the color of the carpet, just for preservation purposes, rather dimly lit and colored for a purpose? And the answer was no. This is the lighting that Elvis had in his den. So he liked this type of lighting. If you're familiar with some of his albums in the later years where he did record in the den, there's some other interesting stories about he liked certain lighting just to create a mood when he was recording. And he also did it in the studios at RCA in Nashville, Studio B. He liked to have certain lighting. So that was just an interesting piece of information. Another image there of his den, and another one. And you might be able to notice that on the ceiling, you'll notice some beams, and within the beams are positioned these yellow and green lights. But between the beams, it looks like a green paint, but that is actually green carpet. It is carpet that matches the carpet on the floor of his den. So here is another piece of information that I found out that I never knew, which I found so interesting. I asked if this was the same carpet that's original to when Elvis lived there, and the answer was yes. And so that was very surprising to me, but then it made sense. And so the answer is, throughout most of the home, they have to replace the carpet every 5 years. And so this is areas where the tours take place. So where the general public walks through in these areas, due to fire codes, they have to change the carpet and replace it every 5 years. Just because of fire retardants within the carpet, it is scientifically determined and proven through analysis that when you have people walking frequently on carpet, those fire retardants wear away. However, since the public isn't able to walk on the carpet in many of the rooms, such as the den, they don't have to replace that every 5 years. And so that's the original green carpet. So I found that to be a very interesting piece of information. Okay, so the reason I want to show this picture, I did not take this picture, but I wanted to focus on a couple of steps here. First of all, there's the major staircase, which leads up to an outdoor deck area. But then this little landing here behind the paneled little pony wall, half wall there is one step that leads up to this landing. So I wanted to emphasize this because if you imagine standing on this landing, and behind you would be the jungle room. So here I am actually standing on that landing, and behind me is the den. I just called it the jungle room, but same thing. So there's the den behind me. And during the Hidden Graceland tour, we were given many surprises, which were just such an honor and actually rather overwhelming. And one of these surprises is that we were able to hold something. And that's why I have that question mark there, but I think you can figure out what we were able to hold. And they took our pictures holding this item. And this item was actually Elvis's microphone from the 1969 performances in Las Vegas. So again, this was not something they advertised. I was completely overwhelmed. I couldn't believe that I was going to be able to hold Elvis's microphone. And that's why I'm wearing gloves. We were given those gloves, and they handed us the microphone, and they took our picture. So just another great, exciting honor. So they told us that this microphone, again, was from the 1969 performance in Las Vegas. So I did some research because I wanted to find some images of Elvis actually using this microphone. And at first I had a little bit of trouble, if you're familiar with this image. And I determined that was not the same microphone. Here's another close-up of Elvis and his beautiful self. And that's, again, obviously not the same microphone. Another image. Here I've exploded it. You can tell not the same microphone. Again, not the microphone. And here I thought, yes, I think this is the same microphone. So I'm pretty sure this is the microphone that I'm holding. And there's a close-up. And I wasn't sure about the actual top of that microphone, if it was the same. But with this one, I determined that is the microphone. So a close-up there. So I can pretty much definitively determine that this is the microphone that Elvis was using. So again, amazing honor to be able to hold it. I actually felt like crying because I was just so honored to hold Elvis's microphone. So just thank you to Graceland, thank you to Angie, thank you to Alicia for allowing us the opportunity to have that honor of holding that microphone. I have another story that I'm going to do another future video on about why this particular landing is so special. So stay tuned for that. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you watching. Take care wherever you are in the world. I love meeting my new friends in Elvis. So stay safe until the next time.